Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. How's that sound? Saturday is the 11th day of May. It's National Eat What You Want Day, National Foam Rolling Day. I don't know what that means. National Twilight Zone Day. Our son loves that show, The Twilight Zone. Also National Birth Mothers Day, National Babysitters Day, National Dog Moms Day, National Train Day, National Archery Day, National Miniature Golf Day. It is Cornelia Day, Lang Syndrome Awareness Day, and Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive on Saturday. Now, the 12th on Sunday, National Limerick Day, National Odometer Day, National Nutty Fudge Day, National Fibromyalgia Awareness Day, and Sunday is Mother's Day as well. All of those things happening.
How does one get their own day? How
I
do you
don't
go
know.
about doing that?
I don't know. You got to do something spectacular, Heidi. Someday it'll be Heidi Small Day.
But who do you have to ask? Like, who
me.
says
I will
this
say.
is your day?
I'm the one that reads it,
It's
so I think it's me.
national whatever
Pretty
day.
sure. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I got a guest coming up, Brian Solis, and he is, or it might be Solis. I'll actually have to check and see how I say his name. He's got a book called LifeScale. He is a digital anthropologist. I think that's the first time we've ever had one of those on our show.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A study by the Royal Society of Medicine found that Leonardo da Vinci didn't finish the painting of Mona Lisa because he injured his arm after fainting and falling. How in the world do they know that? So,
I have no idea. What was it missing? I mean,
they forgot to paint on her glasses and her mustache. But I always do that, so it's all good. I don't know. I thought it was done, but apparently it wasn't. I also found out, I remember reading this just like maybe, I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago, there was another painting under that. So there was a first Mona Lisa under the second Mona Lisa.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how they know that either, but they're smart folks over there. Thanks for listening to Surveys and Studies and Such, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at BetterCreditCards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.net, BetterCreditCards.net. That's BetterCreditCards.net.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. After his mother kicked him out of her home, a 33-year-old Pennsylvania man flushed his grandparents' ashes down the toilet.
That is just sick.
What a bizarre retaliatory move. He's facing criminal charges now. And believe it or not, he was drinking and using marijuana at the time.
No.
Yeah, that's why his mom asked him to leave. She said, hey, if you want to stay here, you can stay here. But if you're staying here, you will respect me, and you won't do that. And he thought, no, I won't respect you, and I certainly won't respect Grandma and Grandpa's ashes. What a terrible thing to do.
Wow.
So he flushed the ashes down the toilet. He was arraigned for criminal mischief of 2 counts of abusing a corpse. I didn't know that's what that would be. Does not sound like a good thing. He recently, when does he go to court? The 13th. So I guess Monday is his court day. Not good. Bad idea. Don't do that. I've got a link to this in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, a little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Analysts are predicting the Avengers Endgame will eclipse Avatar as the highest-grossing film ever. Might actually happen this weekend.
Really?
Yeah. If you and I go to the movie this weekend, it'll happen.
No, we're
Do you
not.
want to go?
I don't want to see that movie.
I know. I think it's funny because this is not our kind of movie. I didn't see Avatar either. So
No,
usually
neither
the stuff,
did I.
the stuff that everybody else sees, and then people are talking
And
about
the
it. I'm
stuff
like,
we're
"Yeah,
raving about, people are like, I've never even heard of
this
that
great
before.
movie, Run, Ronnie, Run." They're like, what? Oh, it's awesome. It actually is. Gayle King negotiated an $11 million contract extension with CBS, so congrats to Gayle. The last weekend's Game of Thrones episode scored a 17.8 million for viewership, which is very good. That's a record high. And people are still talking about the cup, the Starbucks cup that was on the set. So now everybody's going to be watching for things like that. I think it's kind of funny, but I also understand where there are people that were very upset about that. So
why would you be upset? It was a mistake.
But I don't know. There are some that were saying it's just product placement. No, it was a mistake.
I'm pretty sure that was not product
what would it cost?
placement.
Well, you think we could get them?
Look at the exposure they got from that.
Think we could get them to flash the John and Heidi Show
That's
info
probably
on there?
the best product placement return on investment ever.
And it was a mistake. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, your scoop of the day brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. Chris Brown is dating a model, India Marie. I don't know who she is. Do you know who that is?
No.
Do you know who he is?
I'm not really up on
You're
the
not
whole
into those?
model world.
Yeah, me neither. Diana Ross is in the news. It says here that she's feeling violated after a female TSA agent ran her hands between the singer's legs at a New Orleans airport.
Oh, please.
We just recently traveled, and you were getting a little touchy-feely from a TSA agent, too.
Yeah.
A friend, Bill... He said his
she was knuckle deep, man. I'm not even kidding.
I understand that they're trying to be safe. Here's the funny thing.
But I didn't feel violated.
I must look very, very safe. The guy kind of looked at me from across the room. He's like, I'm not touching you. It's like, yeah, you're fine. And I was wearing suspenders. My wife hates that I wear them, but I was wearing my suspenders, so there was something that showed up. And he basically is like, lift your shirt. I lifted up so he could see the clip. Because I have them under a shirt. So
right.
I wear an undershirt under.
Yes, you do.
I want to make sure sounds kind of stupid the way I say it out loud. But it was really funny because the dude, I was through in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
so you and Bill must look
mean,
really suspicious. Or something.
But I didn't feel that's their job. It's not like she wanted to be doing that.
No. Madonna told British newspaper that her new album is not selling because, quote, the music industry is punishing her for being 60.
Yeah,
quote.
Right.
Either that or maybe it's just
maybe
not
you're just
good.
kind of washed up. And people
well,
are
and the
over
thing
you.
is, maybe it's fantastic, but it's different kind of music than most people are putting out today. And that's the thing that I think is really tough. I had a chance to visit with the lead singer.
I haven't heard any of it. Have you?
No, I have not.
No, me either.
But I had a chance to visit with the lead singer of 38 Special, Don Barnes.
I love that.
He is such a cool guy.
That
and
is the greatest band.
something that I think is fantastic. He recorded a solo album back in the 80s, like end of the 80s, early 90s. And it didn't get released because the contract was with the record label. Then the record label shut down, and these tapes were sitting in a vault or whatever. Anyway, he put that out a few years ago, and I did an interview with him talking about the release of his, quote, new album that was recorded 30 years ago. And I thought the music was fantastic, but I like music from that genre.
Right.
So, I don't know if she's trying to be young and hip, and it's just not working for her. I don't know exactly what's going on, but
you're definitely not being punished, sweetie.
No, the people have turned against Madonna, apparently, according to her. So it's all, it's a conspiracy because she's 60. So I don't know. Got one story here I want to share before we're done. The people who have been going out to see the Avengers movie, there are some big-time fans. We talked about earlier in the program, it may actually eclipse the highest grossing film ever, which was Avatar. That might even happen this weekend. I'm not sure. But here's a surefire way to get your butt kicked. An employee at a Domino's Pizza in Texas attacked a coworker for talking about the Avengers Endgame and giving out spoilers. And he's going, "Hey, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to it tonight. Don't talk about it." This happened last weekend. A 33-year-old Justin Surface was slapped with a citation for assault by Contact after cops say he went after his coworker for talking about what happened in the Marvel blockbuster superhero flick.
Good Lord, people.
So staffers at this Domino's refused to comment on the matter. So they're like, you know what? It has nothing to do with the restaurant, so please just leave us out of it. I'm sorry for mentioning them twice now. We'll just mention that it was, in Texas. Anyway, last week, a man was beaten outside a Hong Kong cinema when he shouted to a crowd of people what was going to happen, and people in the line chased him down and beat the snot out of him. In an online open letter, the film's directors, brothers Anthony and Joseph Russo, have been pleading with fans to not share major plot points with others who have not yet seen the film. So just be nice to each other. I don't understand why you would do that. But if you want to know more about that one, I've got a link to it in the show notes at john@heidishow.com.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. We've got a guest today that's a world-renowned digital anthropologist and a keynote speaker. He's consulted Fortune 500 companies, launched hundreds of startups. He's advised celebrity entrepreneurs like Shaquille O'Neal, Ashton Kutcher, Oprah. Our guest today is Brian Solis. He has a new book called LifeScale, How to Live a More Creative, Productive, and Happy Life. Brian, so many people have technology all around them. You have ideas on how to maybe make the technology not become an issue?
First, we had to get awareness of what our relationship with phones and social media and games, what's the behind-the-scenes story, right? We're kind of like the early days of, hey, did you know that smoking's bad for you and this is what's happening to you? And then as the years went on, we started to learn more and more about the negative effects of it. That's where my research started, was what are the negative effects of these things in our lives? And then ultimately, what are ways to use them productively and help you sort of achieve the life that you want to have? Because long story short, I found myself in a position where I was trying to write my 8th book. I couldn't get past the proposal stage, and I needed to go through a deep examination of what was going on in my life, that I couldn't even do that. The first time I failed and gave up on something of that nature. And it turned out that I had been wired to move faster, to multitask, to do all of these things, to keep up with technology and to share all stuff on social media, like everybody's stuff, and just keep it going. And that treadmill or hamster wheel, whatever you want to call it, has effects on your ability to dive deep, your ability to think at much more creative levels, your ability to focus for more than 5 minutes at a time. And so once I started peeling back that onion, I started to realize that, wow, the very things I had been studying as an anthropologist were affecting me. So none of us are invincible. But once I started to see the effects that it was having on me, I needed to know more. I needed to know what else was happening to me. And I looked up and looked around, and I'll just kind of stop there. But boy, I wasn't the person I thought I was. I'll just say that.
So this is something that doesn't just affect celebrities. It affects many people. How would I know if I have an issue in this area?
It actually affects everybody in unique ways, specifically kids, because this is all that they know. At every level it affects us, right? So it rewires our brains to move faster. It accelerates the way that we operate. There's a reason why we always feel hurried and stress and anxiety all of the time. But also, depending on how you use it. So if you're using it to share filtered, face-tuned pictures of yourself to look like so-and-so, or to look your best self, or to live your best life, so you also have the negative effect of, one, you trying to live to these aspirational standards that aren't necessarily real, and two, what you project to people who are following along in that journey, they're feeling less and less about themselves, so they start to get self-esteem issues. But over time, just this concoction of the chemicals that are released in our bodies, every time that we like or we're liked by something, the little microdosing of feeling good with oxytocin or serotonin or dopamine, the things that kind of like, use any kind of substance, really. Your body and your brain becomes addicted to these types of things. So over time, you keep doing more and more and more to feel it. And after years of doing it, you're touching on all kinds of things the medical community is just now starting to research. Things like depression, definitely unhappiness, things that aren't good or productive in your life. And so that's the flag I wanted to raise. But at the same time, I didn't want to say, hey, by the way, these are all the bad things that are happening. I wanted to show how the same things could be better for you, too. And so to kind of give your life a new sense of purpose, a new sense of standards, a new chart of which to ascribe to, so that you're using technology to make those things happen.
Again, our guest today is Brian Solis. He's got a new book called LifeScale, How to Live a More Creative, Productive, and Happy Life. Where can folks find this book?
Well, hopefully anywhere that they sell books, maybe your local bookstore to keep them in business, but definitely on Amazon as well. And you can find me at BrianSolis.com, and the book is LifeScaling.me.
That's awesome. We'll throw a link to that in the show notes. And I'm reading through some info here, and it says that digital distractions actually cause a huge impact on the economy, don't they?
Oh, that's just one sliver of how you can attach a cost to this. Imagine school, imagine our future, imagine our GDP. When you get as many as 200 notifications a day and you're at work, for example, and you indulge any or all of them, you're taking away from your ability to get the job done. So, and when you go after a distraction, let's say you're writing something, and you try to get back into that zone, it takes you about 23 minutes to get back into the zone to continue at a higher caliber production ability. And that's, like I said, this is all brand new stuff. But yeah, everything comes at a cost.
Brian, thanks for taking the time to chat with us.
My pleasure, and thank you for helping me spread the word.
Again, our guest today, Brian Solis, his new book, LifeScale, How to Live a More Creative, Productive, and Happy Life. I've got a link to it in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Nutella. First of all, do you like Nutella?
I do.
I do.
Oh, in small quantities.
I like Nutella. I could use like 2 jars of it. It's so good. Anyway, it was invented to extend chocolate rations. I didn't know that. The delicious chocolate hazelnut spread known as Nutella came about due to restrictions made on chocolate consumption during World War II. An Italian pastry chef realized, hey, I can get a little more chocolate if I just mix in some hazelnuts. It'll stretch a little further. First marketed as a solid block, he struck on the creamy form, which he dubbed Super Crema in 1951. So now it's Nutella. There you go. It's a fun fact.
That is a fun fact.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net, bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Now, fear this. Time for fun with phobias. Androphobia. Androphobia. I think we just talked about this one in a different segment. It is the fear of men. Remember, you had something where these 3 things.
These 3 things, yeah.
Gynophobia was fear of women. I don't remember the other one. It was fear of children, I think.
No, it was fear of all people.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Androphobia is the fun fact today. A-N-D-R-O. Androphobia. Fear of men. We have a dog that has a bit of androphobia. And the funny thing is, because first she didn't like me at all. Now she's my pal. But if I stand up, she runs away. But if I'm sitting down, we're buddies. I don't know what happened. I think she got stepped on as a puppy. Not by me, before we got her. Androphobia, fear of men. Today's fun with phobias.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. As she accused her boyfriend of cheating, a 24-year-old woman stripped off her clothing and began dancing around nude in a parking lot in Utah at a shopping center. Well, that makes a ton of sense. Police responded to a call about a female that was naked and fighting a male. Police showed up. When they got there, she already had her clothes back on. I'm not exactly sure why she did what she did. It doesn't make a lot of sense. She took her clothing off, quote, because her boyfriend doesn't want her anymore, end quote. So there you go. Her boyfriend said, she got nude when she was accusing me of cheating. A witness lodged a complaint saying that she was naked in public, dancing around and grabbing at the man. A witness who accompanied, was accompanied by her 2-year-old child at the time. And this lady was arrested for disorderly conduct and lewdness involving a child, since there was a kid as a witness. She was booked into jail for that. So for those of you who are thinking of doing that this weekend, maybe you don't do that. It's a bad idea. It's Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. 24-year-old Floridian woman. That's how it says it, a Floridian woman.
Okay.
Shouldn't it just say a Florida woman?
Sure.
She was arrested on extortion. She maliciously, easy for me to say, posted nude photos of a man and was asking him for payment to take them down.
Oh, boy.
Here's what happened. Branya Dean posted explicit photos on multiple social media platforms.
Oh, my gosh. That is vindictive.
And she used the victim's phone to access his social media and send out these photos. The victim was unable to deactivate his account because she changed the passwords.
Oh, my God.
At one point, she demanded the victim, by written communication, pay monetary payment for her to stop these actions. The victim, not identified in court filings, but he did appear at the court proceedings and apparently had a prior relationship with her. So I'm not sure exactly how she got his phone. Anyway, the complaint says that she directly exposed the victim to disgrace.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
she was arrested and released from jail later that day, a $10,000 bond on a felony count. It's a felony to do
Good.
that.
And it should be.
Yes,
That
it
is
should be.
not right.
Hey, you want to make sure that doesn't happen? Don't put those kind of photos on your phone. I'm just saying.
Just don't take those.
Yeah,
Why would anybody
don't.
want those? Nobody wants those photos
yeah,
anyway.
Nobody wants
Sorry,
them.
but
So, he's kind of, if he took them, then he's kind of involved as well. But bad idea either way. It's today's moment of duh.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Now, these three things. Heidi, tell me, what do these three things have in common? Egg, oyster, snail.
they're all slimy.
They probably are all slimy. An oyster would be slimy. A snail would be slimy. That's not what they were saying, though. What's around an egg?
A yolk.
No, the white part.
Shell.
Yeah, the shell. So, egg, shell. Oysters have shells, and snails have shells. I don't think snails have a yolk. I'll have to check into that one.
It is the whites that's around an egg yolk, not the.
Oh, yeah, the yolk's in the middle, isn't it?
The yolk is in
See, I wasn't even thinking. Wasn't even thinking. That's these three things.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. This is actually kind of an adorable story. I think this is really neat. Our good news comes your way courtesy of ripitgloves.com, RIPIT gloves.com, promo code radio. Here's the headline. Thousands of people donate hand-knitted bird nests to rescue a group of birds in need.
Hand-knitted
Yeah,
bird nests.
I've never heard of such a thing. But take a look at this. I'm going to move my screen
I
so you
see
can
it.
see.
Oh, cute.
It says when the Carolina Waterfowl Rescue Group in Indian Trail, North Carolina, posted a plea asking for help crocheting nests for these baby birds, they never expected such a wonderful response.
Oh, cute.
But here's what happened. There were a bunch of birds that didn't have a nest. And they said, we need more nests. Please keep us updated on the baby birds. People kept, or if you need more nests, please keep us updated. People kept, sending them and letting people know that, hey, I'll make more if we need more. Packages came from as far away as Canada and Japan. It just goes to show that people go through and make the effort to try to help like this. It's a great reminder for us that people care, says the wildlife rehab specialist for this group. Rescue group calls March baby season. because this is the time of year they see a sudden increase in abandoned and injured birds. So I'm not exactly sure why that would happen, that the birds would go abandoned like that. It says in the past, we've gotten about 3,000 baby birds in the summer, a lot of songbirds, that is. They said the nests are important for the baby's development because if they don't have a nest holding them, when they grow, their legs end up getting splayed out, or one with the S-P-L-A-Y-E-D. What does that mean? Splayed? I don't know. So I've got a link to the video if you want to read all about it, but this group near Charlotte found
really
a way to help these little birds, and I think that's adorable. So I hope...
those nests are probably better than the ones I usually have.
Probably.
Those look really super comfy.
And I hope they can use these nests over and over, because it would be great if they could just store these and then use them again. These baby birds over here are not exactly beautiful, are they?
Well, they're waiting for food. Their mouths are open.
It looks like, this is really gross. I've got a link to the story if you want to know about it. Cute little baby birds. Close your mouth so you'll be cute. That's just weird. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I've got a link to that story and that photo, in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.